All right. Meanwhile, New York City is getting over a massive rainstorm last night that lasted into the morning. It was actually raining in my apartment when our roof leaked. Yes. But so much so that, get this, students at one Brooklyn school had to have remote learning today, not because of the weather, not because power was knocked out, but rather because illegal migrants were moved there to ride out the storm. This was James Madison High School.
Yeah, that's right. Nearly 2,000 illegal migrants had been staying at a field in a huge tent about 5 miles away, but because of severe weather that Katrina was just talking about, they were moved to the gym of that high school, forcing students to learn remotely today. This is them arriving last night. So joining us now to discuss this is a New York City Councilwoman representing that area, Inna Vernikov, and host of Sunday Agenda, Lydia Serrana. Inna, I'm going to bring you in here and just talk about, I just feel so bad here for these students, the families that you upend when you have to do remote learning here, and they're just kicking them out of class. So people who aren't even citizens can come in here and stay. Doesn't make any sense to me, but this is what's happening.
This is a perfect example of Joe Biden's failed policies trickling down to our local neighborhoods. And this is exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing students being punished for the migrant crisis. They have to bear the brunt. The students and the families have to bear the brunt of the migrant crisis. Schools are not meant to be shelters. They're not meant to be homeless shelters. They're not meant to be migrant shelters. They're meant to be places of learning for students. And the fact that we had to cancel school today and do remote, that we had to cancel sports and extracurricular activities, that we had to dismiss students early yesterday is unacceptable.
Yeah, excellent point. And also, Lydia, we heard from a parent earlier, but also here's what another parent told the New York Post. A mother said, quote, "How does it feel that you kicked all the kids out of school tomorrow? Does it feel good? I hope you feel good. I hope you will sleep very well tonight." A father saying, "How do you feel stealing American tax money?" And the gym teacher at the school saying, "What I want to know is why here? Why not send them somewhere else, somewhere students wouldn't be disrupted, where students could still learn." Lydia, you're a mom, you are a New Yorker through and through. You know, when we see this kind of stuff happening in our homes, again, people think, oh, New York is a massive city. It sure is, but it's still home to so many families and, again, young kids.
I think what happened here is a slippery slope. They're saying, oh, the migrants are already out, but what's to stop them from doing it again? What if the tent cities had been damaged? We shouldn't have tens of thousands of people living in a tent or city, or they're coming across the border, to Ina's point. I am a mom. My daughter's 6 years old. The other day, she came home with a Chrome laptop. And I said, what does a 6-year-old need for it? And my husband's like, oh, this is a great idea. I said, no, something else is going on. Sure enough, they sent a letter saying to prepare for possible remote learning. Right. So, COVID, learning, remote, horrible, tragic, what it did to children, especially children with special needs that need to be in the classroom. So you just wonder, is this going to happen at other schools? They're going to say, hey, let's keep the teachers at home and this for the respiratory infections. Kids cannot learn through a computer screen. They cannot learn point blank, period.
That put kids back years in their education.
You know how many kids I know with speech problems now? You
Social
name
interaction.
Yeah,
get it.
Yeah, remote learning is an oxymoron.
Yes,
It's just,
exactly.
It is.
Bingo.
I predict there will, unless, Inna, that you guys do something and get fired up about this, to Lydia's point, they'll do it again. They'll keep going into these schools here. I want to get comment from you on this first. Let's take a listen from the White House about what they said about this.
When it comes to education, migrants, the economy, the president deals with multiple issues all at once. That is his job. There are multiple things happening all at once. And as it relates to this particular question that you're asking me about in New York City, that is something that New York City needs the answers to. That is a process that they took, so they have to answer to that. And as it relates to migrants and what's happening at the border, look, the president has taken this issue very seriously. And the president is the one who has taken action to deal with this, while House Republicans do not.
It seems like your problem.
Yeah. That's really interesting because Joe Biden's the one who failed to secure the border. He's refusing to pay for this. This is on our buck and our dime. And quite frankly, the migrants are not to blame, okay? I understand the frustration of that mother yesterday, but they're not to blame because we are the ones that opened up the red carpet. We rolled out the red carpet for them with all the benefits and everything we're offering them. We're kicking out our own students from our own schools to host migrants who, quite frankly, came here illegally. That's completely unacceptable.
Yeah. All right. We're going to leave it there. Our beauties in blue suits. All right.
Absolutely.
Inna, I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the memo.
You are a lucky guy.
You met your time, actually. All right.